With Chesapeake Bay gleaming in the distance, we are inside M&T Bank Stadium near the Inner Harbor in Baltimore, Maryland. Today we've got a matchup here in pivotal Week 7 between the Cleveland Browns and the Baltimore Ravens. Getting toward the halfway point of the NFL season, Week 7 is underway on EA Sports. This taken in at the goal line. And look at this, right away a loose football. So a teammate picking him up there, that was nearly a disaster.
And the way that you coach these things, you want to make sure you have eyes towards the return guy, because you want to make sure that the catch is secured. A lot of teams do that. They have at least one guy. Okay, you're responsible for making sure he secures the catch. He's not always the one that makes the recovery, but he can always sound out the alarm. Hey, ball's on the ground. We've got to get it back.
Call it no gain on the game's first play, and it's second down now. And as a defensive end, getting off the ball quickly, swarming to the football, making a tackle, that's what we saw right there.
Yeah, and that's what their job is. And really, a lot of the time, they have to throttle back a little bit in the run game because you know those defensive ends, they're like in a sprinter stance. They're just headed straight for the quarterback. That was good recognition on that play to hold them to no gain.
Well, the first drive here and the first time that we've called the big tight end's name, but I can assure you this, Charles, it won't be the last.
No, it won't, because when he gets going, now it opens up opportunities on the perimeter because that'll draw the defense towards him in the middle of the field. Now your wide receivers will get involved as this game goes on.
David Ajabo, credit him there. He fired across the line and planted him for a loss on the play. So their task a little bit more difficult now. 2nd and 13 that they're walking up on. They run it again with Chubb.
Some of the most unselfish players on any football team, defensive tackles, because we ask them to just eat up blocks and allow other people to make tackles. But when he can make a play himself, as we just saw there, that's a big day.
Right where this set of downs started, they need a full 10 here to pick up the first down and move the chains. He's got his tight end, David Njoku, and he's going to be taken down with the first down at the Ravens 37. Just what the Browns needed there. Good for a gain of 17. Well, on third down, he wanted to go to one of his most dependable targets, and that's who he found, his tight end there to pick up the first, Charles.
And he used the proper word there, dependable, and sometimes spectacular, because tight ends nowadays, they can do it all. But they're the guys you trust, especially across the middle of the field where there's traffic. He delivers, and they pick up nice yardage.
After the pickup of 5, here's 2nd and 5. They go up the middle with Chubb, and he's got room. And all the way in, touchdown, Cleveland. Nick Chubb with his 9th rushing touchdown on the year. And the Browns are on the board first on the road here in Baltimore. Extra point by York is up and good. And that makes the score 7-0. The Browns kicking team out there now as they'll send this one away. Jackson and the Ravens come up now 1st and 10 at their 25-yard line. The play action fake. They'll look to throw. He gets this underneath to Dobbins. And this will be a gain of 5 as he gets it to the 30.
And I like the idea here. Get the ball in his hands, even if it's in the passing game. 3 catches a week ago, and he does a nice job here to pick up yardage.
Ball on the 30. They'll come up with a 2nd and 5. Off the play fake to Dobbins. Here's Jackson. He'll rifle this one deep right side. Into a double team, and it's intercepted. picked up by Denzel Ward. And the Browns are going to take over once again with a football at their own 20-yard line. They're trying to resurrect his confidence. Last week was a disaster, 5 interceptions in that loss, and another pick there.
I played with a quarterback like this before, and he had a tough game, and the head coach said, I'll take him, I'll fix him. The very next game, he started out the exact same way. The head coach turned to the offense coordinator and said, he's yours from now on. Someone has to take responsibility and work with him and try and get him settled.
The last run got a couple. Here's 2nd and 8. Here's Watson. Incomplete, but a penalty flag is down in the backfield. Let's get the call. And they will elect to decline the penalty.
Everything turned out the way they wanted it to. No sense in even having to take that one, hence the decline.
So the failure to connect on 2nd down, that leaves him staring up here at a 3rd and 8. And Chubb will try the middle here. And he'll get this to the 23, but that'll be well short of what he needed. Just a 2-yard pick, and that should necessitate a call for the punt team here on 4th down. And Bojorquez on to punt as he gets it away. With it is Jackson. And he takes us beyond the 35 before going out of bounds. And good work bringing that one back as he picks up about 16 on the return. And the Ravens, they'll take over. The Baltimore offense at the line, set to get going. And we'll see if they can bounce back from that last drive, in particular, if they can bounce back at the quarterback position, Charles, after throwing their first interception of the ballgame.
Yeah, and some guys, you know they're going to want to try and get a big play right away and take control back. Others, they're going to look to hit a couple shorter passes, get a little momentum back that way.
But for the defense, that goal's not changing a bit. They want another pick.
You're exactly right about that. In fact, you've got to watch them a little bit because in coverage, they may cut down their gaps a little bit, maybe their splits a little bit in order to try and get to the ball even faster.
Meanwhile, Jackson's throw into the hands of Andrews. And he'll only get a yard to bring up 3rd and 1. 3rd and 2. Here's Jackson. Now a loose football. The ball comes out. And this is picked up by the Browns. And they will take over possession of the football at their 42-yard line.
The start of this game has me doing flashbacks and remembering when I was playing and seeing a similar start and seeing the head coach actually take a timeout and gather the whole team around him and tell him everybody to get it together. Let's get some focus going here because maybe he just sensed that maybe the whole team wasn't ready to play.
Yeah, well, they've gone interception, now fumble. And now this is intercepted. My goodness. Kyle Hamilton picks it, and the Ravens are going to take possession of the football. Well, Charles, you got a quarterback out of the pocket trying to make a play, and you get it, but instead he ends up throwing it to the other team.
And partners, we know to be successful in this league, number one, you're going to have to be able to make plays on the perimeter or when the pocket breaks down. But number two, you've got to make smart decisions with the football. And that time, that simply was not a smart decision.
Just a yard on the first down carry, so it's 2nd and 9. To throw is Jackson. This one caught by his tight end, Andrews. And he'll be brought down at the 27. The Ravens at 2-4 here in the first half of the year. And they've lost 3 straight here, and it kind of goes without. And he loses the football a second time. And I think the Browns got it. They did.
Hey, I'm all about defense forcing plays and getting takeaways. But an interception and 2 fumbles in their last 3 offensive possessions.
Time to readjust.
Yeah, you can't just give all the credit to the defense on that. They've got to look in the mirror and take a blame themselves and figure out how to not do it anymore.
The Browns drive about to get started. They've got a 7-0 lead in the football as well as they start out 1st and 10. Under pressure, and he'll go down. They'll sack him on the final play of this first quarter. After run 7-0 on EA Sports. Now following the sack, they'll look to make amends on a 2nd down and 17. Watson. That's to the right side and complete to Njoku. And he's able to get this one all the way past the 30. He's up over 50 yards receiving now in this first half. It's a 1st down. And a good quarterback facing zone coverage. If he has just a little bit of time to survey the scene, that's what's going to happen.
No doubt about it. If there's no pressure, he's going to continue to pick them apart because he'll have all that time to find someone open downfield. You can only cover for so long. So maybe they want to go to a zone blitz scheme, get a little bit more pressure. Remember when Carolina did that against Denver? They lost the game ultimately. They dropped the defensive end out, and he ended up with an interception in that game in Super Bowl 50. Maybe some sort of scheme like that to try and get more pressure at the passer.
And now a throw on 1st down there, but it's incomplete.
And not a common sight, at least on this drive. A momentary setback, though, for this passing game that has been moving well this series. Good thing for them, though. Still 2 more downs to connect and try and pick up another 1st down.
They go with Chubb on 2nd down. And good space to operate there as he takes this down inside the 35-yard line. 54 yards rushing now on 8 carries for him so far.
Now this is an example of breaking down a defense because on a lot of these runs, he's getting past the point of attack, and guess what he's doing? Forcing the secondary guys to have to make a lot of tackles.
They run again on 1st down. Chubb looking for a seam but finding none. He'll get back to the line of scrimmage, and that's it. Linebacker Patrick Queen bringing him down. Well done to sniff that out defensively. He had it diagnosed pretty quickly.
I love that description because diagnosed is perfect on that one. Read his keys, made the play, and he couldn't even get going moving the football.
Oh, batting at the line and intercepted. And the Ravens are going to get this back to their own 34-yard line. Charles, there's something special about this big D lineman bringing it in. Off the tip there, really nice coordination.
Very much so, and I think what we've seen, and I'm going to put it in about the last 5 years, maybe a little bit longer, coaches placing a bigger emphasis on ball drills, even for defensive linemen, because possession is so key. When you got a chance to take one away, you want people comfortable with the football, and it paid off there.
So they'll come up after the gain of 7 on a 2nd and 3. From the gun, it's Jackson. And that throw behind his man, he missed him, incomplete.
I tell you, Brandon, this defense is playing with some confidence. Haven't allowed a point yet. Flying to the football. I'm telling you, it's almost 11 to the ball on every snap. Another nice job there to force an incompletion.
Play action. It's Jackson. And that will be incomplete. Well, they weren't scared to let it fly, but it falls to the ground and brings up 4th down.
Thus far, they have been able to move the line of scrimmage very well in the running game. Almost felt like they said in the huddle, can you guys pass protect? Let's take a big shot downfield. Didn't get it on that one, but they may come back to it again.
Only 2 punts for him last week in the loss as he gets this one away. Call it 46 yards on the punt, just a single yard on the return as he was covered quickly. And the Browns will take over with a 1st and 10 deep in their own territory. The Browns drive about to get started. As the offense comes out here, Charles, remember they threw the interception last time out, but they were moving the football down the field. Looked like they were going to have a sustained drive that ended in points, but then the pick ensued.
And because of that, there's no way you can call the last drive a success. Yes, there are things to build on because they found some play calls that work. Now, they've got to build another drive and find a way to avoid the turnover the play did on the last one.
A 2nd down pass play there, but it's incomplete.
Going with a dime look on defense. 2 extra defensive backs on the field and covered up essentially every blade of grass. That allowed them to disrupt the play.
So back-to-back incompletions, and that has them staring at a 3rd and 10. Watson now to throw. And that is taken in by Njoku. A big play there on the catch and run. 68 yards. We know he's good at catching the football, but then after the catch, he's got escapability.
Not only that, he's got some toughness as well, because you know he's coached very hard to make sure he battles through, breaks tackles, and then they finish with, but don't fumble the football.
And he'll be out of bounds, taking it just shy of the 10 at the 11 or the 12. He'll wind up getting 9 after tucking it and running, so it'll leave him with 2nd and a yard.
I do think it's fair to say that they were caught off guard a little bit. We decided not to throw it on first down. But give them credit. They recovered in time to deny him the first down yardage. But it's only 2nd and short. So that run is still likely to lead to a new set of downs.
And the Browns are going to have a 1st and goal as he's inside the 10, down to the 7-yard line. They'll fake the handoff. Now Watson. Oh, the ball comes out on the hit, but they'll say it's incomplete.
Partner, what we're seeing so far is a defense is certainly coordinated. Both levels doing their jobs in tandem. The back helping the front helping the back. The pressure got home on that last play.
And it's intercepted at the goal line. Picked off by Marlon Humphrey. And the Ravens are going to take over at their own 13-yard line.
Definitely not the ideal time to see that mistake, partner, because this is still a one-possession game, and that's at least a field goal that just vanished with that turnover. Now, pressure's on defensively to prevent that pick from turning into points for the other side.
The Raven offense set at the line for this next drive. Still in the first half, but this offense has struggled. Haven't really been able to get anything going, not only in the points category, but in the yards category. We'll see if they can do better here on this drive. Not a whole lot there. The defense was ready, it looked, for that run-pass option.
You get the sense that next time he has that opportunity, he may keep it himself and get to the perimeter. Probably owes his back a little bit of an apology on that one, huh?
And he's taken down, but not before he gets this across the 25-yard line. Off the play fake. Here's Jackson. Buying time to his left. And he just gets rid of it. Throws it away. The wise move there. Looked like nobody open. Now 2nd down.
To this point, I've been impressed with the work defensively. They have not allowed a lot of receivers to run free. And there's another example, another incompletion.
Once again, they'll come up on the 26-yard line, 2nd and 10. Jackson from the shotgun. He'll swing this out to Dobbins. And he'll be out of bounds across the 30-yard line. They get 6. That'll leave them with 3rd and 4.
And we see another pitch and catch there to the running back. This position just continues to evolve. They become just as critical to the passing attack as a lot of receivers, tight ends, because their ability to make people miss in the open field can really generate big plays for an offense.
Now it's Jackson. Quick hitter here, it's complete. And he will have a Ravens 1st down as they're able to get the 3rd down conversion. Jackson will throw again. He'll check this down to Dobbins out of the backfield. And he's able to get this one out closer to midfield across the 45. Give him a gain of 5 on the completion. And that's going to bring up 2nd down. Jackson. He's going to air one out. And now another turnover as this one's intercepted. Picked off by Greg Newsome. And the Browns are going to take over here up near the 40.
I'm not sure, Brandon, we've seen a sloppier played game this year for a team on offense. Turn it over 4 times and expect to win? No chance whatsoever. And look, I have no idea what the ratio is about turning over 4 times and how that correlates to winning or losing. But I'll guarantee you, it's not very good.
The Browns drive about to get started. And 3 interceptions in this game. I would have to think, I wasn't a quarterback, but number 4 is kind of, you're like, oh man, I can't throw 4.
No, what's interesting is, what do the coaches decide to do now? Having thrown 3, do you alter your offensive strategy? Do you take the ball out of his hands and maybe turn to the running game? Or do you have that supreme confidence that he's going to turn things around?
We'll see what they do. Letting one fly deep for Cooper. And that will be incomplete. Trying to dial up the long one way out there, but it'll be third down.
He certainly had a good game throwing the ball so far, but I think he was trying to take that from good to great with that throw, trying to get one downfield.
Now they face a 3rd and 10 after back-to-back incompletions. Now Watson. And his pass is intercepted for the 4th time today. Picked off by Marlon Humphrey. And the Ravens are going to take possession of the football.
So first thing crossed my mind is why didn't they just sit on the lead and take it to the locker room? They're in good shape.
Absolutely. And from this spot on the field, now you've given the other side a chance for points here going into intermission.
Yeah, you changed the momentum of the game, and it's something you did not need to do.
He'll find Dobbins out of the backfield. Now the Ravens going to use one of their timeouts as they get the stoppage with a little over 50 seconds to go in the first half. They go play action with Jackson on the move to his left. His throw incomplete.
Well, you know me, whether you need it or not, I'm going to give a little unsolicited advice. Just throw it downfield out of the pocket only if you're absolutely sure. Otherwise, use your running ability and try and get those yards a safer way.
On 3rd down, Jackson. And for the 3rd time here in this half, it's intercepted. Picked up by Martin Emerson. And the Browns are going to get it back here just past the 35. Well, these defensive coaches, they sure like what they've got in this rookie corner. And with good reason, as you saw there.
He only cost him a day 2 pick, and a lot of people thought he had first-round ability. But when he was available on draft night, that was one where you didn't need the full time to make the selection. You call that pick in early, and he shows why he was so...
He's got him in, complete. And they're going to move it down inside the 25. Now the Browns will use the first of their 3 timeouts as the clock will stop with 37 seconds to play in this first half. So the big play gets him all the way down to the outskirts of the red zone here for 1st and 10. Back to throw, Watson. Under pressure, and he'll go down. Safe back in the another time call for the offense as they started with a little over 30 seconds to go in the first half of play. Throwing on 2nd and long. Watson. Oh, the pressure too great, and he goes down once more. And the offensive bring their 3rd and final timeout. And with halftime on the horizon, they'll be out of timeouts from here forward. Need something from deep in the bag of tricks here after 1st and 2nd down. Went backwards. It's 3rd and very long. A throw there, but that's going to wind up incomplete.
From a defensive perspective, they had exactly what you want. Anytime they want to throw the football, there was pressure on the quarterback. They were getting after him, and they tightened down on the receivers and forced the incompletion.
Fair catch called for right around the 11-yard line. It's just a 30-yard punt that time, no return. And control of the football switching hands with very little time remaining until the half. The Baltimore offense at the line set to get going. And the ball backed way up, so thinking with this amount of time on the clock, probably just sit on it, and we'll see these two teams go to the lockers.
Yeah, I don't think you want to overthink it in this situation. Either side of the ball. Just go ahead and finish up the half and get on out and talk about it.
So we've reached halftime with just the lone touchdown here. 7-0 is our score. As we'll get you down the coast to Orlando for Jonathan Coachman in our EA Sports Halftime Report. Coach, welcome back. Charles and I settled into the booth, ready for quarter number 3. The Ravens set to receive the football, trailing here as we resume action in the 3rd quarter. And that one will bounce out of the back of the end zone, so we will start here at the 25. The Raven offense set at the line for this next drive. Charles, it'll be interesting to see what adjustments this offense made in the locker room. Haven't really been able to get anything going offensively, virtually nothing in the ground attack either. So certainly something has to change here in quarter 3.
And I'm pretty sure their friends from the defensive side of the ball told them exactly that, because those guys, the stop troops, they've been playing pretty well. They've kept them around in this game. Now, they've got some time. The running game struggled in the first half. Opposition knows how to focus on defending the pass here. They've got to re-energize that ground game and maybe open things up for a comeback here in this half.
They follow up the first down 1-yard run with a minimal gain of 2.
I have to think a major focus of the halftime meetings had to be figuring out how to create space for the running game to get operating.
Well, what you pointed out to me at half seems accurate. That line has struggled to sustain blocks.
Yeah, I would agree with that totally. They've got to focus on staying on their double teams at the first level, make sure that block's secured before they slide off and try and chip someone at the second level.
Throwing now, Jackson on first down. And just not enough on the throw there. Down around his feet and incomplete.
The goal is certainly to try and make a big play happen and climb back into this game, but you have to be careful. If you overdo it, you could turn it over and hurt your team.
To throw again on second down, Jackson. And this is going to be hauled in by the tight end Andrews. He's got room at the 30. And he'll go down, but not before getting this inside the 30. So now then, the big play has him all the way inside the 30 now, 1st and 10. Throwing there, but this pass is going to wind up incomplete.
At this point in the game, in the situation they're in, partner, these incompletions that we're seeing, they need to turn into positive snaps, and soon.
To throw again is Jackson. And his pass is intercepted for the 4th time today. Picked off by Greg Newsome. And the Browns are going to have the football here at their own 18-yard line.
And that has to be a little bit discouraging, because after all their halftime talk, adjustments, and points of emphasis, their first drive ends with an interception. Absolutely aggravating if you're a head coach, because you spent all that time, gone through every situation possible, and it still ends in a turnover.
And he'll power his way up near the 25. 65 yards rushing for him now to this point.
Well, I think after that run, the defense getting back in the huddle and looking at each other and maybe starting to question their confidence a bit. They gave up a significant run, 6 yards, and now you're saying to yourself, how do we stop them? And do I have enough confidence to make a play?
That his first catch so far. They've held him under wraps, but he's got a first down there. Up the middle, it's Chubb. And he can only manage to get a couple. 2nd and 8 coming up.
You've got to be impressed by that defensive front on reps like those. They were not being moved off the line, kept their shoulders square, and gave their teammates time to fight to the ball and limit that gain.
The last run good for 2. Here's 2nd and 8. Watson off play action. This is caught. It's Brown. And they'll get this down to around the 47-yard line.
And that was good protection there. No, that was great protection there, because it allowed him to lock in on his receiver, although I think he was looking for his tight end on the corner route all the way. Nice connection there for a really nice gain.
And he'll get it down here to the 43. Tackle there by Michael Pierce.
That's a really nice job by them picking up the run blitz and detecting it and blocking it and turning it into a nice run. And a lot of times you think if you blitz a running play, you're going to smother it. But a lot of the blitzers, they come in a little bit high. They don't have great leverage, and they're easily blocked and turned to the side.
They follow up the gain of 5 by only getting 1 there on 2nd down. And here's the 7th play of this drive. This is 3rd and 4. Here's Watson. And my goodness, another interception. Picked off by Patrick Queen. And the Ravens are going to have it here at their own 32-yard line. I think you and I were a little surprised back earlier in the game when he threw his 2nd interception. I mean, who would have thought a quarterback of his caliber picked now 5 times?
It's beyond stunning to me, because we're used to that with maybe a quarterback with less experience or less talent. But a quarterback of his caliber, I can't believe what we've just seen.
Absolutely. If you would have told me this coming into the ball game, I would have said never, not in a million years. But here we go. 3 yards on the pickup there, and it'll be second down. Now, they struggled to get him rolling on the ground in the first half, and that's sort of continuing here in the third quarter.
Yeah, but I don't think it's time to abandon the running game. I would say keep feeding the horse, and I believe he'll eventually reward them, especially as we get deeper in the game.
Able to force him out of the pocket right, but still able to complete it. And he has a big gain inside the 40 before being dropped. On 1st and 10, it's Jackson. And he'll toss this one incomplete. Seeing no options, he throws it away.
His impatience has to be bubbling over, trying to find a way to get his team to the end zone for the first time. He did find a way to break contain and get outside to buy his receivers a little extra time, but the connection couldn't be made on that throw.
He lets this one fly toward the back of the end zone. And that's going to be incomplete. Good effort there, trying to take a shot, but it's third down.
Well, you got to think that sooner or later, they're going to hit one of those, but the coverage has been excellent thus far, and it was again on the last play.
And Jackson throwing once more. Being chased out left. And he's got his tight end. That's Andrews. And they're going to have another first down as he's going to be tackled at the Browns' 23. Jackson. Firing quickly here, and that's complete. He is taken down at the 21 after a short gain of 2. 3 quarters have come and gone. We'll return with more after this. You're watching the NFL on EA Sports. On second down, a run with Dobbins. And a couple of yards as they move it from the 21 to the 19. And this offense on third down today, they've hit it 50%, 3 of 6 to this point. This will be 3rd and 6. Jackson now. That is caught inside the 5. And the Ravens are going to have 1st and goal as they try to finish off this drive with 6 points. Even though this offense doesn't have a single point to its name, they're not totally out of this game yet. A touchdown here, they could be in business.
And how about that last play? Now they've got momentum going, so you know I'm a big advocate. Get back on the line of scrimmage. Throw another play at them while you've got them rocked on their heels.
A looming decision to make on the conversion, down 7, but first things first, they need to score as they come up on 1st and goal. Dobbins will struggle to get to the line of scrimmage as he'll be tackled back at the 4-yard line. That's going to go as a loss of 1 on 1st down.
I think it's pretty evident. We can say what a difference a week makes. Last week, he ran pretty much wild, didn't he? Did pretty much what he wanted to do. But this one, they've stopped him cold. That, to me, that's good scouting and even better execution.
Yeah, and they stopped him behind the line right there. They obviously watched the tape a few times and made some adjustments. It'll go as no gain on the play, and now they're looking at a 3rd and goal. 2 straight shots on the ground. Now on 3rd, do you go to the air?
I think the possibility exists, and if you're doing it, you're probably going play action since you ran it twice. But I often think that 2nd down is a time you go play action and throw the ball. I say commit.
And this is caught. Touchdown, Baltimore. Devin Duvernay, his 4th touchdown on the year. And the Ravens are an extra point away from tying this game here in the 4th. Don't forget the extra point. It's even good. And an important one that is we are all tied now early in this 4th quarter. So all even at 7 now as they kick it away. Fielded just outside the goal line. And he won't quite make it to the 25. The Browns drive about to get started. They no longer have the lead after that last touchdown, all tied up in the fourth quarter, and a chance for this offense to mount a potential game-winning drive right here. After the sack here, 2nd and 11. Faking the give, now Watson. Forced out to his left. And Watson has enough for the first down yardage as he slides to the turf. Opted to run for it. The decision a good one. Picking up the first, getting 14 yards on the scramble. Well, there you go. Save your best scramble of the day for a big-time situation in the fourth quarter, picking up the first.
You don't want to use it up early, right? You want to make sure you save it for that exact moment, that key time. And that's what he did, although you and I both know it wasn't planned that way. But what a nice job using his eyes, scanning the field, and realizing when it was time to exit the pocket and go.
They give him 4 yards there. It'll be 2nd and 6.
And that was a quality play to start a new set of downs. That was simply an offensive line winning the battle up front and winning it in a big way and giving their guy in the backfield a nice lane to hit.
Following the pickup of 4, here's 2nd and 6. Now it's Watson. And he'll be hit as he releases it, and that'll fall incomplete.
We've seen these defenses make enough opportunistic plays to keep this one low scoring. Flying around, making plays on the ball, and we see yet another errant throw as a result.
One of the bigger plays in the game thus far. The crowd getting into it as we come up on a big 3rd down. He's got his tight end, David Njoku. He's got room at the 30, and he goes down, but not before getting this inside the 25. A big play there on the catch and run, 35 yards. So the big play gets him all the way down to the outskirts of the red zone here for 1st and 10. Watson now to throw. Oh, he was hit as he threw it there, and that one winds up incomplete.
Well, a momentary speed bump there with that throw, partner. The defense had other ideas, and they're trying to mount a small stand before this drive reaches the end zone.
After the incomplete pass, here now is 2nd and 10. Again, it's Watson. He finds his man, complete. It's Grant. And he's going to be taken down with the first down at the Ravens' 13-yard line. Give him 10 yards there as this offense is on a roll. This drive continues to plunge forward. From the red zone now, Watson. And the timing a bit off that time as that one falls to the ground. Right now, the story of this game continuing to be the defenses, because the offenses, they're finding it difficult to establish any rhythm whatsoever.
I like how you come to us in praise of defense, Brandon, because that's exactly right. That was an incompletion forced there, but we've seen it throughout this game. Both of these defense coordinators, they're a step ahead of their offensive counterparts.
On 2nd and 10, Watson. And this is going to be intercepted. Picked off by Marlon Humphrey. And the Ravens are going to get the football here as the ball will come out to the 20. Yet another interception, and I just had to double-check my math. But it is now 8 between last week and this week.
Well, I just used a calculator. I didn't worry about double-checking it. But the thing that always throws me when you see quarterbacks in this type of a bad spot, they're trying to figure out what they can do to change it, and sometimes they try too hard, and they never get out of it, and that's where he is right now. He's just locked in a really bad way.
And the Browns pressure gets to him that time, and he's going to go down. In for the sack, Myles Garrett. After the sack on first down, Jackson, and he can't get a throw off. He's taken down. What a huge play at this point in the game. And now we'll see a timeout used on defense as they stop it right out of the break with 1:57 to go in the ball game. Now after that sack, it's 3rd and long for Jackson and the Ravens. Throwing, Jackson. And this is going to be intercepted. Greedy Williams picks it off. And the Browns are going to take possession of the football. That is now 5 interceptions that he has thrown in this ball game. If I asked you to speculate what's possibly going on in his head, what would you say?
Well, if he's as mentally strong as I believe he is, he understands that not all of these picks have been his fault. You know, some of the throws, yes, but there have been a good number of them where he hasn't been helped by his own receivers, and they've turned into interceptions. So he knows if he keeps firing, perhaps good things can happen, not just in this game, but especially in later ones.
Second down, here's Chubb again. Oh, no, he lost the football. And it's picked up by the Ravens. And his guys will take over at the 25-yard line.
I think we just saw an example of a game situation that I know is discussed, practiced to the nth degree, go right out the window, and a chance to win the game as well.
Yeah, protect the football. On the other side, you're taught to get in there and rake it out. They did just that.
I mean, they go over this starting in OTAs and mini camps. You go through these situations, and that's the way a lot of teams like to end practice. Finish it off with this type of a drive, kick the game-winning field goal. Everyone feels good and heads to the locker room. In this case, though, they're not going to feel so great about it.
An incomplete pass leads to 2nd and 10 from the 25. Now Jackson connects with Duvernay. And he'll be upended at the 28-yard line. Just a 3-yard gain there. What do you think? Play this safe? Just worry about getting to OT?
Yeah, don't make any risky throws. It's going to change the outcome. But if anyone slips, take the big shot.
Here's Jackson. And he fires one, but incomplete.
Well, the defense certainly did its job. They held up in that situation, and now 4th down, you've got to punt this and try to get to overtime. There's no decision to be made, in my estimation.
4th down, here's Jackson. Connecting with Andrews. And able to get this one across the 45 before he's brought down. The Ravens going to use the 2nd of their timeouts as they get the stoppage with a little over 50 seconds left to go in the game. Jackson. And that went too far in front. He couldn't reel it in. It's incomplete. A couple extra defensive backs out there in the dime, and because of that, really not many places to throw the football, if any.
And typically, what would you want to do against that?
Run the football.
You want to run the ball, but you can't do it in this situation. Not nearly enough time on the clock. You're having to really navigate against a tough defense presented again.
And this is going to be intercepted. Picked by Ronnie Harrison. And the Browns are going to take possession of the football. To be frank, CD, this is getting tough to watch. I mean, you feel for him, but 6 interceptions, that's at a whole new level. It's not a good level.
It makes it tougher and tougher to come up with ways to try and support him. But you have to as a team because you can't just throw your quarterback aside. You're going to need him later on. But it reminds me of a time that a former defense coordinator of mine told me he was in a game where his quarterback threw 7 interceptions. So after the 6th one of the defensive players went to the quarterback and said, here's what you do. Throw the ball to the other team, and let's see if our receivers can pick it off and turn it into a completion.
That's just mean. I don't know that I'd go down there and say that to him right now. Probably pretty fragile. They'll try again from the 36 on 2nd and 10. Here's Watson. And that is taken in by Njoku. And he doesn't quite make it, taking it within an eyelash. Dropped at the 1. It's a gain of 35.
There's no doubt in my mind that not many guys in this league have had the impact that he's had here in the first half of the season. He's been a big play guy from the word go and continues to be one with another one right there.
Now they get the timeout. It leads you to wonder, will they kick it here or risk running another play and possibly not getting down in time? We'll see. A game-winning field goal would be a chip shot from here. Let's see how they play it on 1st and goal. They'll run with Chubb. And he's in for the touchdown. And in the final seconds, forget overtime, they've just likely won this thing in regulation.
And that score in this time frame, that's like a big reveal at the end of a great movie, isn't it? Out of nowhere, almost, it appears, they get it done. How about that score?
Finishes like this is why we love sports. This is why we love the game of football. So
glad that we got to be here to watch this one.
Extra point by York is up and good. And that makes the score 14-7. The kickoff team on the field now as they will send this one away. And they will not get a chance to return this one. It's through the back of the end zone for a touchback. The Baltimore offense at the line, set to get going. They are looking to make a bit of a 180. They are sputtering right now.
And frankly, I think it's time to call your playmakers together.
And that's intercepted yet again, and that could be the backbreaker. Greedy Williams picks it off. So Cleveland able to come away with the victory here. And I tell you what, I can't remember a defensive performance as good as this one. They seemingly forced turnover after turnover after turnover every time you turned around.
Yeah, you can just keep going with it, can't you? After turnover. As this game unfolded, they were doing all the dictating, right? They told the offense exactly how it was going to go down today. So you saw them deflate with every series, didn't you? Every time they ran onto the field, it was slower and slower to get to the football because they just felt like if we go out there, we're just going to turn it over anyway. So it was really, really a stellar performance.
So for the Browns, they remain one of the hottest teams out there as the win moves them to 6-1. And they'll return home next week to take on the Cincinnati Bengals. Meanwhile, for Baltimore, they dipped to 2-5 now with the loss. And they'll try to get back on the beam next week as they'll head to Tampa to take on the Bucs.